Hi, this is Tracy, and welcome to the Woman Within You podcast. Thank you so much for joining me. So today I want to talk about motherhood and some of the things that, we kind of don't speak about, but we know that they exist. I remember when I was growing up and I used to talk about how it would be or what type of mother I would be when I had kids. And I used to always say, I'll be nothing like my mother. Oh, her rules are dumb. Her rules are stupid. And I was just gung-ho about not being that way. But it's like when you have your own kids, you kind of develop your own normalcies. You develop your own rules, your own guidance. But let's face it, it's based on how you were raised. And sometimes that's not a good thing because maybe you were raised in a dysfunctional home. Or maybe you was raised in a situation where now, you were raised in the 80s and now it's 2019 and things are just completely different. So it's like you almost have to change with the times. But just know that when you're raising a kid, it's really based on what you saw as a child or how your parents raised you. And every day is not perfect. Every day is not a good day. The good definitely outweighs the bad. And it's always hilarious to me when people who don't have kids comment on your parenting style. And that's why I tend not to tell people what's going on with my children or in my household. And I tend not to ask for advice from anybody because at the end of the day, you are the parent and you will be making the decisions that you feel are in the best interest of your child. And I know that a lot of people personally reach out to me and ask me questions about my kids or ask me questions regarding things that may be going on with their kids. And I'm always hesitant to answer because when a person asks you for advice, 9 times out of 10, they don't even take your advice. They just want to hear your opinion and they want some validation that what they're doing is in fact right, or they have somebody that's in agreement with them. And the title of this podcast is You Are a Terrible Mother. And the reason why that's the title is because when you're raising teenagers, you feel like you are a terrible mother because you can't get through to them. Our beliefs, our values are different. I just had a situation where I received an email from the teacher. Now, this is uncommon for us. We don't get emails from teachers. I have been blessed in that my kids, are pretty well behaved. But I received an email from a teacher saying that they were going to write my teenage son up. He's 16. He's in 11th grade because he refused to take off his sweatshirt. Now, he goes to a school where they wear uniforms and it has a logo on it. And of course, I purchased the expensive uniforms, but I did not purchase a hoodie because he's been at that school since 6th grade and he's been allowed, you could wear a hoodie or a zip up or a fleece as long as it did not have any logo on it or the logo was equivalent to the size of the school logo. So for example, they could wear like a Nike hoodie or a Nike sweatshirt because the little check mark is really small. But he didn't have that. He just has like a plain black fleece that he wears. The other day, it was pretty cold in the morning. We go through all 4 seasons here in Connecticut in one day. It's 40 degrees in the morning and by noontime it's about 60. And then by the end of the day, you're sweating and should be in shorts. So anywho, I told him, I said, grab a sweatshirt because, waiting for the bus. And it was just chilly and he had on a short sleeve uniform shirt underneath. So when I get this email from the teacher, the email basically says that he's going to be written up because he refused to take off his sweatshirt. The email also said that this particular teacher's room is pretty cold. So my response to the email was that my son is very aware of the uniform dress code policy and that and thank you for, following up with me. So what I did was I immediately ordered him a $68 sweatshirt from Land's End. This is not an ad, where I purchased the uniform shirts because they engrave the logo on the sweatshirt. So I really had to sit in this because I'm just thinking to myself, the teacher, number one, acknowledged that it was cold outside or cold in that classroom. And number two, he was going to get written up for refusing to take off his sweatshirt. So I think that's the part I was pissed off about because once an adult tells you something, and I really do try to instill this in my kids, then you must listen. Even if you don't agree with the rules, you must listen. So I was a little bit pissed off about that. And I was also pissed off that I got an email from the school, 2.5 weeks in. So as a mother, I'm like, all right, how do I handle this? So I immediately called my mother, and she said to me, well, Patrice, he told me that all the kids are very upset about the dress code, and that they're wearing the sweatshirts as a protest to the new dress code, because this dress code actually changed in the summer, and we received an email from the principal telling us, the kids, that they could not wear certain things that have been allowed for the past several years. So the kids were already upset about that. They actually emailed the principal, and so they got that rule changed. And the biggest thing was that they can wear khaki pants, black pants, and blue pants. And the new rule was that they couldn't wear black pants. And so anyway, them contacting the school, going to the school over the summer, got that rule changed. So in my head, I'm thinking, all right, so they protested this summer, so to speak, by emailing and going to the school and calling the principal to get their black pants policy back. So maybe they're thinking that if they keep their hoodies on, it's a protest, and that they will allow them to continue to wear their non-logo hoodies. So I'm like, all right, how do I handle this? Because I'm all for advocacy. I'm all for standing up for something that you believe in. But it's like, okay, really? He told you to take your hoodie off and you didn't? Like, how do you handle that as a mother? Once again, I was pissed off basically about the email. And it's like, when I got home, because he's home before me, I said to him, I received an email, and I went through the whole motions about what was said in the email and the back and forth that I had. And the look on his face was like, why would he even email you? Like, that's stupid. So him and I got into a discussion about the protest, and he said, I think it's really stupid that we're not allowed to wear our hoodies or our zip up fleece, even with no logo on it. And he said to me, we're starting a petition. We're starting a petition because we think that this new dress code is stupid. Everybody does. We all think it's stupid. And I'm just thinking to myself, wow, my son wants to advocate. He wants to stand up for what he believes in. But then on the other hand, as a mother, I'm like, he's going to be written up. I don't even know what written up means, because we haven't been through this. We don't go through this. I don't know what that means. Does that mean he's going to get suspended? Like, what does write up actually mean? But then on the other hand, I'm like, he wants to advocate for something. So then I'm in this struggle of, as a mother, do I cheer him on and say to him, yeah, go ahead and start your petition, or go ahead and be involved in that process? Or do I tell him to just take the damn hoodie off? Like, it's a struggle. It really, really is a struggle as a mother, because I'm a young mother, and I can think back to when I was growing up and like the rebellion stage. I really don't have a lot of problems out of my son, besides his room being dirty and, 5 or 6 cups being in the room or under the bed, or a fruit cup or something. Like, the normal nastiness that boys have. I really don't have any issues with him. He doesn't talk back. He doesn't have any issues at school. He's a really good student. And it's just like, where do I draw the line? Like, where do I draw the line? It did get a little bit heated in our conversation, but at the same time, it's like, I applaud him for standing up for something that he believes in, but just take the damn hoodie off, and that's the thing about being a mother, about being a parent, period. It's like, you have to choose your battles. And I might have went off on him a little bit, and I don't mean like cuss and stuff, because I don't do that to my kids, but I might have went off on him and saying, you really should have just taken your hoodie off instead of allowing yourself to get written up. Because I'm like, well, who else was written up? Was it just you that was written up? Like, what, I start thinking about all these other factors. Like, are you the only person of color in your class? Were you the only one written up? Does this particular teacher have a problem with you? Like, so all of those things are just stewing in my mind as we talk about this. And I'm just like, I did order you a hoodie. I explained all of that to him. And I'm like, and he's just like, well, it's so stupid that he would write me up for something like that. And I'm just thinking to myself, I know. But at the end of the day, I'm a parent. And I don't want him to have any negative stigma following him in school, especially not when he's almost done. I just take your hoodie off. And those are some of the things and decisions that have to be made as a parent. And it's not easy. And I hope that I'm a good mother to him. And I hope that some of the things that I say to him, he listens. And as he grows and as he becomes an adult, he starts to understand why I made certain decisions for him. And he starts to understand why, I tell him that he needs to learn how to wash his clothes and that he needs to be a good student and that he needs to be neat in his room, even though he just completely, just a mess, just a complete mess. But I hope I'm a good mother. I hope I'm a good mother. And I think that the fact that I question whether or not I'm a good mother makes me a good mother, because I want the best for my kids. And it's not saying that all mothers or all parents don't want the best for their kids, but I truly want them to be better than me. I don't want them to make the same mistakes that I made. I don't want them to go through the same heartache and pain that I went through. I want them to live their best lives, like literally live their best lives. And, with the teenager, as college is coming up and, I'm talking to him and trying to feel him out to understand, what is his career goals? What does he want to do? Does he even want to go to college? Like all of those things still in my mind. And it's like, I see the family and I see like generational curses and I just want to break them. And that's my goal. I want to break generational curses for my kids. I don't want them to live in poverty. I don't want them to be broken. I don't want them to have unnecessary heartbreaks. I want them to be the best people that they can be. I want them to be good people. I want them to be resilient. I want them to be strong. I want them to love their neighbor. I want them to have a love of God. I want them to just be themselves. And I think for me, that is my main goal. And it's by any means necessary. If my kids said to me, I don't want to go to college, it would hurt my core. I'm not going to lie. It would hurt me because I know that the idea behind it is one of the ways out of poverty is through education. Although now I'm starting to backtrack on that. Because I'm just thinking about how much student loans I have and how that's probably keeping a lot of people in poverty or keeping people in financial ruins because they pay so much in student loans. So if he said that to me, yes, I would be hurt, but he would have to have a plan. There would have to be another plan. Maybe it's a trade. Maybe it's the military. Oh, God forbid. But maybe it's the military. But those are all the things that I think about, and I'm going to do whatever it takes. And I'm going to be very supportive as a mother. And I have both a boy and a girl. And raising them is like night and day. It really is. No two children are alike. But for me, it's really, really different. I have one that's just so easygoing, my son. And you don't hear from him too much. And it may be because it's the teenage years. I don't really know. And then I have my daughter who is just Miss Drama Queen. Miss Drama Queen. Miss Dramatic. Miss... everything has to go my way or I am going to have a complete meltdown. And I'm going to say, you don't love me and you don't want me. You don't love me and you don't want me as your daughter. It's just like, it's ridiculous dramatics. Okay. And then I'm thinking back to myself, was I like that? I probably was, but I was the only child. So I know my mother had nothing to compare myself to. As a mom, you really are unappreciated and you don't get back the love that you give on a regular basis. And as a mother, you're going to love your kids forever and no matter what. You can't take your mother for granted. You may not see it, but there's sometimes a shortness and impatience that teenagers have, and like the way they say things is really harsh. And there has been times this week alone where I have gone and cried. I have cried. My daughter says to me, I don't want you to hug and kiss me. There's a long silence and pause because I want you to feel the emotion that I felt when she said that. And you know what? She's just a kid. She probably didn't even realize what she was saying. She's like, I don't want you to hug and kiss me anymore. And I know we all go through it. Don't hug and kiss me in public. But she said that when I said, hey, come give me a kissy hug. She said that to me. I don't want you to do that anymore. And it really just hurt me because that's my baby. And I want to shower her with love and affection. And I want her to know how much I love her, how much she means to me, how she's a Black girl that rocks. Like, I want my baby to know that. And it doesn't matter how old you are. You should always treasure your mom, because you will never, ever get another one. You will never get another mother. Okay. Some people are adopted and, they didn't have the best relationships with their biological moms. And then they received a mother who cared for them. And yeah, maybe that's two mothers. But at the end of the day, your biological mom is the one that carried you. Your biological mom is the one whose heartbeat you felt when you were inside of her belly. You will never, ever get another mother. And I know growing up, me and my mother had drag out arguments. And as I grow as a mother and, when I got older, I felt really bad about that, because I know that she did the absolute best that she could with me. And as much as you have standards and as much as you hope that your kids will turn out a different way, they're individuals and they're going to be who they are no matter what. All you can do is guide them, lead them, teach them morals and values, teach them the right way, and hopefully they stay on that path. But my mother, was a single mom for many years and, got remarried. She did the absolute best that she could. And, I feel that way about myself too. But I still question, am I a good mother? Am I a good mother? Am I doing everything that I can to make sure that my kids go the right way? Did I make the right decisions for them? Did I put them in the right schools? Did I move them to the right area? Because let's face it, this generation is just different. It's just different. They don't want to play outside. They don't want to do anything, and I just want to make sure that as a mother that I did all I could to make sure that they follow the right path. Hopefully some of you will reach out and share your stories about motherhood and whether or not you have these same feelings that I do about being a good mother. I just hope I am. I really hope I am. And I go through these emotions where it's like, especially when it comes to discipline and when it comes to making decisions for your child. I really go through a lot of emotions, and I hope and pray every single day that the decisions that I've made for my children are good ones. So let's get to our affirmation for the week. I support the people I love and care about. I support the people that I love and I care about. Well, that's my time for this week. I thank you so much for listening. And remember, you are strong, you are fearless, and most of all, you are beautiful. Don't forget to follow us on all social medias at The Woman Within You, and visit our website at thewomanwithinyou.com. Have a wonderful week.